Hey, what's going on, guys? Shane here.
Vince The Anomaly.
And today we're going to talk about how to keep your opponent against the ropes, against the cage, using strikes, using footwork, using level changes. Vince is going to talk about it, so he'll show you how. Let's take a look.
The fight is always going to start standing. It's always going to start in the middle of the cage here, but let's say I'm a pressure fighter. I really want to back Shane up and keep his back against the wall. So we come in here in the middle, we're throwing our jabs, we're feeling each other out. I'm spinning Shane around and boom, I see the cage or the wall right behind him. I want to make sure that he stays there. Whether it's boxing, MMA, you know, the cage, the ring, it's very much the same thing, and it's going to be the same details in how we're keeping a person cornered against the cage. The real thing I like to picture here when I'm working to keep someone in is a pizza pie. I'm going to create a nice V shape right here. We've got the edge of the nice pie crust back here, and this is my V shape, and this is where I want to keep Shane inside of my sights, where I can strike him, where I can corner him and keep him back against the wall. So we're starting off right here. Shane doesn't like that. He wants to be off of the wall. He knows he can kind of sense and feel the ropes behind him. So he's starting to move sideways, but I'm going to cut off that angle here, just like that pizza shape, that pie shape we were just talking about before. I'm coming directly in so that he can't keep going this direction. He can be throwing punches here, leg kicks, whatever it is, but right now we're keeping him centered in. And now if Shane starts to go back this direction, I'm going to back off. And same thing, I'm going to close him in back on this side. So again, we're keeping that V shape, we're keeping Shane stuck in between there. Now, one thing people tend to do, and their mistake when they're trying to keep someone cornered up against the cage is, person starts to slide out, oh, I've cut off the angle, good job. But now they stay right here. Okay, I keep pressuring and pushing into Shane, and Shane's able to slide his back off the wall and get out. Especially if a guy really doesn't want to be up against the cage. You know, it sucks being here, getting battered to the body, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I want to get off the wall as fast as I can, so I'll even sprint off just to get out right away. So if you do close someone down, you do a good job closing them down here. If you stay right here and keep pressuring, Shane's just going to back up.
Yeah.
So guys, when you're working with your opponents here, remember, keep this as your center point. Shane slides out, I block him off. I come back in. Come back in. Okay, so every single time, guys, we're going back to the middle here. I like to keep it maybe just out of jab or just out of kicking range if we're doing MMA or kickboxing, so that he can't really hit me right here, but he does still feel that pressure. He doesn't know if I'm striking, he doesn't know if I'm inside range or out, but as soon as I see him get on his horse, nope, you're staying in. Okay, so try that out with your partner too. Have someone really just stay up against the cage, move against the wall, try to get out of your zone, and really just come in and try to tag him. If you want to switch stances, you can. That's one thing I like to do in MMA anyways.
Right.
So if Shane's moving to my right, I'll even throw like this hook, this jab out here, just to keep you centered and thinking that I'm going to be able to trap you and keep you up against the cage.
Right.
Now the next major point of keeping someone up against the cage, the wall, is being sure to throw the right type of strike to keep them there. Right, I briefly mentioned it before, how we're kind of like jabbing or hooking around the outside, and that makes perfect sense to people. You know, if Shane's slipping this way, that big hook comes, he blocks it, he's stuck, he doesn't want to be there, he moves back the other direction. But now let's think of it from a kicking sense. So if we're doing MMA or kickboxing, what type of strike should you throw? I actually really don't throw kicks very much when I'm really trying to corner my opponent, because notice when I do, if Shane's moving this way, and I throw a nice switch hit, boom! Yep, he's going to get it whether he eats that kick or whether he blocks it, checks it, whatever it is. It's going to take time for me to bring my leg back down, and when my leg is coming down, he gets on his horse and he's out, so we don't have him cornered anymore. So what I like to do with these kicks, if I really, really want to throw a kick to keep him, you know, be cautious of my attacks here, is as Shane's sliding out, I'll just throw my foot up, but I'll come in with a hook or a jab. Okay, same thing. If we're going to this side, I'll throw this leg up and come over with that hook again, or I'm stepping in, body shot, whatever it is. But when I throw my leg up like that, notice I'm not throwing it and then resetting, because that reset gives Shane time to get out. So I'm throwing the leg up and I'm staying right there. I'm throwing this leg up and I'm staying right here. All right, so think of it that way when we're trying to keep him in. Now, if we do want to land that big knockout blow, sometimes we let the guy off of the cage. So in that case, I'm cutting him off a few times. He thinks that I'm really just trying to keep him pinned up against the wall. Now this time I kind of follow him and I let him off the hook. He steps out of that pizza pie, out of that pie crust shape, My turn, I can throw that body shot right there. We can throw it to the head. We can throw a spinning back fist out to the side. But the main thing is, guys, we've kind of tricked Shane into thinking, I can't get out, I can't get out, I can't get out. Ooh, here's my opportunity, I'm gonna bolt. And as that person bolts, that's when you throw your big kick, that's when you throw your big spinning punch, spinning kick, whatever it is. But just know that once you do that, he's out. He's gonna be off the wall. All right, so right there, guys, more MMA style. Obviously, you can't just be grabbing onto your opponent like that in boxing and kickboxing.
Yeah.
But in MMA, remember, we can grab, we can use our hands. We can be grabbing up here by the tricep. We can be cutting off, grabbing the hips, threatening our takedowns. And what that does too is it forces our opponent to respect that angle that we take on them. So that on that pie shape there, if Shane's sliding out over here, if I threaten this takedown by either level changing or just coming in and kind of clinching him up a little bit, now I can push off and we're right back to the same spot. But what that does is it really keeps Shane from escaping. Okay, there's no way he's gonna run through this unless he wants to get taken down. So be sure that if you are cornering your opponent in MMA and you feel like you can't stop him with just the strikes to keep him there, be sure to clinch up from time to time, or at least get control of their hand, get control of their arms here, get control of their head, whatever it is. But be sure to use, all the rules set in MMA.
Okay, so now we can turn this into a drill. So grab yourself a partner, put on some gloves, whether it's boxing or MMA gloves, and we're gonna go light, but we're gonna make this active. We're gonna make this live. So set a timer for 1 minute, and in that 1 minute, Vince is gonna be on the offense, I'm gonna be on the defense. I'm gonna try to get my back from off of the wall, and he's gonna try to keep me trapped using that pie shape. So he may throw some light taps, light strikes. We're using that lateral movement. I'm trying to trick him up and feint so that I can get out, and then boom, that 1 minute hits. And then that's when we would switch, and then Vince is up against the wall, and I'm the one offending.
Yeah, and guys, when we're here against the wall, be a good partner. So right now we're not throwing heavy strikes because we are just training. If someone throws light strikes at us and we're right here, it's going to feel like we can still just keep running away from him. In an actual fight, Shane will be throwing a lot heavier hooks, overhands, and we're going to have to respect that. So me, as this person with their back against the cage, be sure that if they do cut you off pretty good, then come back into the middle here. Now, also, if the guy does kind of let you off, be sure to give him that look as well. If I've gone all the way over here and Shane hasn't pressured me, I'm gone. So we just reset again, continue that whole minute.
Awesome. So after that second minute, then we can start to pick up the intensity, and that's when I can start to work in my kicks now. Again, be careful. You don't want anyone running into your shin. Could be a bad day, but from here I'm cutting it off. He's moving. I got this throwaway kick. I'm tapping him. I'm keeping him against the cage or against the ropes. And then we would switch. Vince would do that. And then on the third minute, then that's when we would do more opponent control. That's when we'd be grabbing the wrist, we'd be level changing, trying to pin them against the wall and really take control. So that's something that you can do with a partner and get a nice workout in with. All right, guys, there you have it. So some strategies to keep your opponent against the cage, against the ring, and that's where you can ultimately finish the fight. Just be careful, though. When someone's cornered, that's usually when they're most dangerous. So keep your hands up, keep your head moving, and fight just like you would in the center of the ring. But these are some strategies that you can incorporate in when you got them up against the ropes. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. Until then, I'm Shane.
Vince The Anomaly.
Fight tips for the underdogs.